Just got started. See here, heating temp. Have it set on the S and the A is set an actual 65 degrees Celsius. It started out at 25, I think it was. Now it's up to 30. A minute or so ago. Tried to change this. I wanted to bump that up to 70 because I wanted to set my strike water at close to 160 instead of 149, but I can't figure out how to do it. I'll have to get on that later. No biggie. I'll just let it set it to that, and then I'll set my mash schedule after that. I'll be back. This is the recipe I'm going to make. Version of Edwards Haas Pale Ale. Realized when I got started I ran out of Vienna, or I didn't have any Vienna, so I just changed up the recipe, added some more 2-row, substituted, put in some 60. It's a totally different recipe, obviously, but that's where I had started with the hops and everything. And doing a pound of honey and all the Cascade hops. So we'll see. I got the efficiency set at 75. So I don't anticipate to get much more than that on this first session with the Brewmaster or Braumeister. Here's our grain beer here. Get ready to grind that up. Right at where we need to be, I guess. 59 degrees Celsius and 65. About messed up. I had put in 10 gallons of water in there, bottled water, and I wanted to make sure and turn everything on to make sure the elements were working fine and nothing was touching that dip tube and all that. And then it worked fine, and so I just didn't think nothing about it and kept on going. In about 27 minutes it hit temp with the 10 gallons. Luckily I remembered and added the rest of the water up to that top line in the malt pipe. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but that water's moving. The pump's going. You can see my old bent up lid over here sending me a new one. But there's a pump there. Can't even hear them. It's crazy. I don't know if you can tell with the sunshine, but both of those lights are on. The top one for the heating element, bottom for the pump. I'll grind this up. Alright, got our grain all ground up. First time I'm using this camera, so I hope it comes out alright. Say that a lot, don't I? Trying to find the ultimate. Let's see. Some husks in there. It doesn't focus either, does it? Bastard. Took it out of auto mode and I just went back and aborted the whole program to go to manual to set it at 70. Just did that a second ago, and I realized that when on manual I had to push this enter button or the start button again to start up the the element. So it's heating now. So after I ground my grain, I found that it hadn't moved any because the heating element wasn't on. So I just pushed the start button, got that going. So a few more minutes here. When it jumps up to 70, then we'll put our malt pipe in and our screens, filters, add the grain. Yeah, just bump to 66. Go from there. Alright, we're at our temp. Sorry y'all can't see all the way in here, I know, but it's the best I can do. Right. Add our bottom screen. This is supposed to go with it. We'll see if I can just get this to go with it. Sure I can't, but we're just going to float. have your grain. That would take it on down, but I don't want to. Chance, I guess it's 6 to 1, half a dozen of another, because that thing's just floating up. Let's see what I'm talking about here, how this thing just floating up. I just pushed it to the bottom, so I guess we'll just put the grain in and it settles out proper. Since this is my first time, I'm trying to take this very easy. I hope the thing is flat on the bottom, because if it doesn't, I'm not sure what that means. One of the guys on Homebrew Talk got a 20 liter, and this came with the screen version of that cloth filter you just saw me put in there, and I sent an email to my guy here in Florida about it. He wasn't aware of that, so he's supposed to check in to see if they're going to be making any for the 50s and then get back with me. Oops, sorry. Just making sure y'all can see some of that. I'm a little concerned. Some of the reading I've been doing is about the crush on the grain, and I've always felt mine was a little finer than most that I've seen. I get pretty good efficiency out of my old system that I had, my Brutus 10 type system. I would always get in around the mid to upper 80s on an average. Sometimes I'd shoot into the low 90s, but on a consistent basis I'd be around probably about 85%. Bucket. And the reason you do this is you don't want to get any in on the outside of this malt pipe right here. You don't want to clog up that other pump. You want everything to be filtered. Another thing is this thing needs to be sitting pretty level, so when it pushes the wort up through this, or pushes the water up through the grain, while it's mashing and recirculating, it'll come up and it'll flow over the outside edges of this evenly. Pretty close to even right here. little different stirring around that rod in the middle. Just trying to make sure I don't disturb that filter on the bottom. Thick. I started off with, I believe what the manual says is 55 liters of water at the top line of the malt pipe, which is 14.65 gallons if I remember correctly. Unless I'm reading something wrong, which that's possible. That manual is leaves a little to be desired. I guess the one good thing about that camera not being in autofocus is it shouldn't be blurring this out while I'm stirring in front of it. Stop that there. That is the case. That's pretty good. You go in reverse mode here, and you put this cloth on first. And the screen. Give it a little tension out, as they said, make sure that thing seals down to the bottom. So I'm hoping that's it. And we're going to pop down here. Let's see, I'm hoping it's going to ask me. I guess it's just going to do its own thing. Obviously this isn't totally balanced, level. See if I can shim that up a little bit. Be back. Alright, took some shims. I had some old door shims. Slid up under there, and as you can see, we're bringing that on that side. And also on that side. Alright. We'll let it rip. Come back later and see what we got. As you can hopefully see, we're into phase 2. Phase 1, I didn't get to set my mash up either like I wanted to, so I guess I'm just going with default, whatever that is. So phase 1 was 5 minutes at 65 degrees Celsius. Phase 2 looks like it's going to be 30 minutes at 65 degrees Celsius, which I believe is 149, so I'm okay with that. So that'll be 35 minutes there, and then we'll see where we're going. You can see it. The set point is 65, the actual 65 on phase 2 with 28 minutes left in phase 2. So I'll try to remember to come along as this changes phases and show you what each phase is doing. One thing is I hear a little ticking down here, so maybe that's the other pump or something. Hopefully that's normal. Maybe anybody else that got one of these can chime in and tell me if they're hearing that on their unit as well. I was out here messing around in the garage and I realized this thing wasn't running, and it scared me for a second. And then I remember reading about the pump brake. You can see it here. So this thing. Right, I ran out of video or card space, so I just had to delete some of that off of there, download it. So what I was trying to say is it gives it a pump rest. We've since gone into phase 3 just recently. It's a 30-minute phase or rest at 73 degrees. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but it's definitely clearing up. Taking it long enough. I thought it would have cleared faster than this, so I don't know if maybe this is normal or if my filter's off. So it's been going about what, 35 minutes. Yeah, 35, because we're just now on this rest right here. Which I thought was a little soon for it to go to that temperature, so let's check that out. Say 73? Yeah, so it's going to the glare off of there. At any rate, it's going to 163 degrees now. Let's see how she goes.